watched this movie 2 days ago, the night it came out, and I still don't even know what I think about it, but we're gonna try and figure it out. What's going on, guys? My name is Jack. You can call me iShinobi, and welcome back to a brand new video. I know this is kind of a weird format, but I figured I'd try it out for reviews. I have my nice handy dandy, definitely not old board here with our title. We have a beautiful array of colors, as you can see. We have so much variety here, and yeah, we're gonna talk about this movie. Like I said, this is like basically my first movie review I'm doing on the channel, or just like series review in general. So if you want to see more, let me know down below. If you think the series could have any changes or anything, let me know. But I figured this was kind of cool, like we could talk through it and I could explain some things that I thought about it. Of course, like I said in the intro, there will be no spoilers in this, but if you guys do want a spoiler review, I can do a separate one as well, but that'd be a little bit more in depth. So for this, we're gonna stay surface level. So first, let's talk about the animation. We'll start off simple. Okay, so the animation, it was basically on par with what you'd expect. If you've seen the first movie, which I did about 4 hours before I saw this one, if you saw the first movie, it was about on par with that, except the finale of this, there was a lot of like 3D type effects that they brought in with the weather and stuff that looked really nice. It was really appealing to the eyes. I mean, the final fight is basically just vomited colors everywhere, and I mean, you can take that as you will, if that's a lot for you, if that's too much for you. But in general, I think the average moviegoer would find that very appealing, especially in anime fights. There were like really random scenes where just stuff in the background just dropped off in terms of animation quality. Like, I kid you not, I'm gonna try and replicate it. There was a scene, and if you watch the movie, look for it. It's like 10 minutes in, or like 15 minutes in. There's a dog in someone's front yard that I swear it looks like this. That's the dog. It's just a circle with a triangle and a happy face. I saw it, and I looked to see if anyone else had noticed, and a few people had. Like, I was bewildered. What? There's a few moments in the movie like that where you can see things in the background that's just kind of randomly drawn poorly, and I'm not really sure why, but aside from that, it was really solid. All right, let's talk about location slash setting slash weather slash everything else. Okay, so the movie takes place on this place called Naboo Island. It's basically like the island from the first one, just not Disney World. And the general premise is like all the UA students are there, and they're kind of taking over for heroes that aren't able to be there right now, and they're just doing kind of mundane activities like helping out old people, making sure the beach is safe, and all that stuff. There's like no villains there, basically. I'm kind of just going off if you've seen the trailer for this movie or not, because it doesn't really spoil too much in the trailer. But yeah, I think Naboo Island's a really good setting. I actually kind of preferred this to the Disney World, even though in the first movie it's really extravagant and it's really cool to see. This, we get a lot more bonding between the class. I mean, you see all the characters a lot more compared to the first movie. Especially Bakugo. Bakugo gets a very special highlighting in this movie that if you're a fan of him, you'd really like. Todoroki gets some really cool moments as well, and just honestly, everyone does, now that I think about it. I feel like I should give like average scores. I don't really know. But what would I even like score? Like a number or a letter? Okay, we'll do 1 through 10. So as far as animation goes, we'll go 7, because it's not anything crazy, but it's still appealing animation. Location slash setting, I'll give it an 8. I feel like I should add a characters section now. So in terms of characters, I'm gonna first base this first score off like our protagonists basically, and kind of their development through the series. I really liked this movie because, like I said, it's not like the first movie where it's mostly a focus on Deku. You really get to see a lot of the other classmates in it, so I'll give characters an 8. Now let's talk about the villains slash antagonists. Jack, why would villains not just go under characters? This makes no sense. So the villain in this movie, his name, it's Nine, just N-I-N-E, and he has like 3 partners that like kind of under him, like underlings. So, and I won't really spoil him. So he has 3 people that kind of come with him to the island basically, and that's the whole premise, is like that whole conflict. But honestly, the 3 underlings were much stronger characters than Nine. It may have also been a lack of backstory, because yeah, you do get some backstory on like his motivation and stuff, but you really don't care. And it may be because it feels like a knockoff of another character, but honestly may just be because he sounds like he doesn't care the entire time. Like I said, the 3 characters that are under him, they feel much more passionate towards like in fights and stuff, and just their overall mission. I think my biggest problem with this movie, and just kind of the MHA movies in general, I don't know how it works really much with anime movies because I'm kind of new to the scene, but it never feels like the danger's really there, especially in terms of affecting canon. Okay, let's say this is like an impact scale in terms of how much it affects canon. It acts like it's gonna go all the way to one side, but it never does it it always retracts all the way back as if the movie never even happened. I'd like to be there for like some stuff in the middle that can kind of, you can reference to in terms of the movie, where you can be like, oh, I remember that on Naboo Island. If a balance can be found in terms of what's affecting canon and not, and stuff that actually happens and alters the whole story, I would kind of like that. But in terms of how good this film is, it goes kind of like this. In terms of hype, it's like we're kind of chilling. Oh, there's some pretty cool stuff in the middle, kind of chilling here, and then boom! When I tell you this finale gave me chills as I sat there watching it, it was something special. Like I said, I can make a spoiler video about this, but because it is a very special movie in terms of what happens in it, if you've seen it. So yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give the villains a 6, just because the leading villain isn't as intense as I kind of wanted him to be. It would have been like a 5 or a 4 if these guys down here hadn't been as cool as they are. Also, the 2 kids that are on the island that are kind of part of the main story, so adorable. Even though you like really hate the little girl at first. It's a very wholesome movie, especially in the beginning, because you see them doing all the mundane activities, like I said, because they're using their powers for things that aren't just blowing stuff up. Like Kaminari is like charging a tractor, and of course Mineta gets screen time, which is just the best. But yeah, I think overall the thing that this movie did best was highlighting all of the classmates and showing, like, giving all of them a little bit of a spotlight. This most definitely was not just a Deku movie like the first one. Like I said, especially Bakugo gets a big spotlight. So yeah, I don't know if I should give it like a final score, like a 1 through 10. I don't really like doing that with movies. If I had to give this a final score, I would probably say an 8. I think 8's pretty generous, somewhere around there. So yeah, that's going to be my review for My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. If you've seen the movie, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Of course, try not to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it. If you haven't seen it, stay away from the comments, I guess. And yeah, if you want more videos like this in the future, be sure to drop a like on this video so I know that you enjoyed it. And with that being said, I hope you guys do have a wonderful rest of your day as per usual, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.